I write a Substack called Mother of a Dilemma for people who are on the fence about having kids. You can find it at the link in my bio. One of the big things I hear a lot of people on the fence talking about is this current political climate, the state of the world, climate change. It's a big thing that has people really on the fence and really hung up with how to move forward. So this past week I decided to write a piece called A Case for Having a Child in These Unprecedented Times. This is not a piece that's designed to convince anyone leaning no that they should have a child. I think if you're feeling concerned about the state of the world and you don't want to have a kid, you think being child-free makes the most sense for you, that's great. I fully support that. If anything, the only thing you probably need from me is just permission that you can make that choice. You don't even need permission, but you may want that permission, and you have it. Go for it. I myself am choosing to remain child-free for that reason and many others, but I totally understand, and that's great. But there are people who are on the fence about having kids, who want to have kids, and the state of the world has been very discouraging. It's making them question if it's okay, is it ethical, will I be judged, is it safe? There's a lot of fear, there's a lot of concern, and so I wanted to write a piece to speak to those people who want to choose yes but are feeling afraid. So here's just a few things to consider if you're wanting to choose yes, but you're feeling like maybe you can't. The first thing is that I don't think for most people the goal is human extinction. I don't hear a lot of people saying that the women who are currently pregnant should be the last pregnant people to ever walk the planet, that everyone should stop having children all across the world after this. I don't think the average person has that extreme of a take about this. There will be babies born moving forward regardless. So if you choose not to have a child, even though you really want one, it's going to be really hard not to resent the people around you who do choose to move forward and have children, because you're going to have to watch them have the thing that you want. Besides, we do need future generations to come in. We're sort of on a little bit of a pyramid scheme design, so we need new people coming in. Yes, I know for the climate, the fewer the people, the better, but that's why I'm not saying necessarily we need everyone having tons of children. I think we just really need people who want children, having children very consciously and thoughtfully. We need to ensure that the children are here on purpose and that the parents of those children understand what they're signing up for. I think we can also look at other times in history where things looked pretty grim. A good example might be World War II. Especially if you were in Europe. I know that probably looked pretty scary at the time, but there were women who had babies, and those babies have now grown up and lived long lives. It's not to say that it wasn't scary or difficult raising a child in a difficult time period like that, but it's just to say that it can be done, and it has throughout all the time in history. I also don't think we should give people like Trump and Elon Musk that kind of power over our personal lives. I think that's sort of how the terrorists win. And look, I get it. There's a lot of uncertainty about politics in America right now and Trump and everything that's going on. He's only been back in office for 1 month and it's already insane. But I want to offer some perspective a little bit from the future. When I got married, it was April 2016. We still thought our next president was going to be a woman. We thought we lived in different times. I turned 30 that summer, and then that fall we elected Donald Trump to his first term in office. This was probably the first moment where I really became on the fence. I don't even think I realized it at the time, but it really did make me question, is this a safe time to have a kid? Do I have to wait 4 years to see how this plays out? What if he's reelected? What if it's 8 years? I'll be 38 when he's done. So I definitely understand what it's like to have those kinds of questions and to wonder if it's okay to move forward when everything feels so uncertain. I will say, though, now looking back, it's been 8 years since that first election, and while things have been absolute chaos and crazy, I definitely see that I could have had a kid during that time. I'm okay and happy about my decision that I didn't, but I can see a world where if I had wanted to have a kid, I could have certainly done it. I, of course, can't know what my path would have looked like if I had made the other choice, but the closest thing I can do is look at some friends who are the same age as me in similar circumstances who made the opposite choice. One of my closest friends is a mom of 3. She had her first baby in 2017, her second in 2019, and her third in 2022. And she had it in a red state as well, her whole family. So I look at her experience, and of course she's been stressed out and it's been scary and there's a lot of unknowns that she's had to parent through. But I never have heard her express regret over having her children. Her children are all healthy and living relatively normal childhoods. So that sort of gives me a little bit of a glance into what the other path could have looked like. And look, I know uncertainty sucks and we want to know the future, but we never can. So we're going to have to make a decision either way without the knowledge of how the next 4, 8, 12, 20, 50 years are going to play out. We don't know what's going to happen, and we're going to have to make a choice anyway. So I think you can just make the choice that feels good to you and then be all in on it. Know going in, eyes wide open, that this is a difficult time and that you're going to need to be ready to support your kids and, try everything you can in your power to make this a good experience for your kids and the kids around you. And just know, too, that people who are child-free like me, we're fighting alongside you to make sure that everything's as good as it can be. Again, I talk about this more at length in my Substack, which is the link in my bio, and so much more. So if you want to hear more about this take and so many other topics about being on the fence about having kids, go check that out.